And welcome to Local Politics. Joining me today is Ilam MP Hamish Campbell and Christchurch East MP Reuben Davidson. Hello to you both. Good to see you.
Hello.
Hi,
Reuben,
Chris. Hi, Reuben. How are you both?
very well, thank you for Friday, as long as the weather holds out. Reuben, I'll start with you first. Labor put out a press release yesterday essentially endorsing the Christchurch City Council's support to not do business with any companies linked to Israeli settlements. This has sparked a lot of controversy, particularly online. I wonder, what are your thoughts on this?
Look, I think it's great that Christchurch City Council's led the way in this space. I hope other councils will follow, and I think that it's a good symbolic move and an important part of doing all that we can to try and address and end what's happening there.
A symbolic move, but nothing really changes, though.
Well, I mean, I see the argument, nothing really changes, but I also think doing nothing changes nothing. And I think what's important here is that Christchurch City Council have taken a stand. And like I said, I hope other councils follow the example.
Hamish, what are your thoughts?
Look, first of all, I just want to say it's a tragic event that's happening in the Middle East, and there's been loss of life on both sides. And I think that it's a tragedy. I also want to acknowledge the people with connections to Palestine in Christchurch, and also people with connections in Israel and Christchurch. And I think I appreciate it as a very trying time for those people living in Christchurch with connections to both those countries. This is ultimately, of course, a matter for the council. Whether it's going to do anything is probably slightly a different question. These were probably businesses that the council doesn't do business with anyway.
Why do you think it sparked so much rage online, Reuben?
Look, I think it's a very emotive and emotional issue, and I think we all know and understand that people will do and say things in online forums that they probably wouldn't do or say in real world conversations. And so sometimes, we possibly all have had occasions where we've kind of needed to check what we've done or said in online comments and forums. I mean, I think given the brevity of the situation over there, and to echo Hamish's sentiment, when you have events like this taking place, when you see the horrific human toll that these conflicts have, then it's very easy to see why it affects people to the extent where they will be as moved as they are, and as to comment in that way and to that extent, because it affects people deeply.
Hamish, Labor is calling on the rest of New Zealand councils to follow Christchurch's lead. What do you say?
Well, look, I don't think it's necessarily a core function of councils. I think there's probably a lot of things councils have on their plate at the moment. Look, as we've always said, that we are very keen for a ceasefire. There is a huge human toll. This is not going to be solved through war. It's going to be a diplomatic result. I appreciate there's been many efforts over the decades to try and solve the Middle East conflict. It is complex, and I think we need to make sure that we can contribute where we can.
Reuben, let's move on to, residents are still struggling in this city. You would know that being an MP in the city, of course. And now the council wants to increase rates next year by 9.76%. I mean, isn't it time for the council to actually go, right, what can we cut? Excuse me, so let's even see if we can get rates even lower than what they were this year. You never hear the council say that, though.
Yeah, look, I think the important thing here is the council probably don't want to increase rates. The fact is that the council are having to increase rates, and we're seeing this across New Zealand because central government, this national-led coalition government, are walking away from supporting councils to do the work that they need to do to support residents.
Hamish?
Oh, look, I think that's kind of quite rich, considering all the regulations that the previous government has absolutely piled on to local government. Look, what we've seen is we've seen rates increase about 4 times the rate of inflation. And I think everybody needs to take check and make sure we go through our budgets to make sure we are delivering on the money that we're taking, whether it's tax or rates, that is coming from someone's back pocket. So if we're going to take a dollar from someone, we've got to make sure that we're actually delivering quality for that. And I think councils really do need to really focus on the core values and the core principles that they're elected to do.
Reuben, is there something that you would think or you would like the council perhaps to consider reducing or cutting or perhaps less spending so we can get the rates down so people don't struggle as much next year?
Yeah, look, I think you'd be really hard pushed to find things that people are prepared to go without. I think things like our swimming pools, things like our libraries, things like having footpaths that you can actually walk safely on. I hear from residents who have, footpaths that haven't been repaired for too long. We hear a lot about potholes and about the condition of roads in Christchurch East. These are all core services and functions of council. The sector did a review into the future of local government. We can all agree that the model, the government model is unsustainable in its current form. And the minister just wrote it off, called it woke nonsense, and effectively won't come to the table to support councils to the extent they need to be supported and funded.
Hamish, give you the final say on this before we move on.
Yeah, look, and it kind of comes back down to the fact that councils can have great dreams and aspirations, but we need to make sure that we're having efficient use of ratepayers' money. At the end of the day, we're taking money off people, so we've got to make sure that we're delivering, whether it be what Reuben said, potholes, road repairs and things like that, making sure that we do it efficiently. Those are core businesses, but we've got to make sure that actually we're delivering what we expect.
Reuben, the government is, of course...
Imagine what, sorry, Chris, to jump in, and I know you said you'd give Hamish the last word, but I just have to say this. Imagine what our councils around New Zealand could have done with $3 billion that instead got given to landlords.
Well, actually, what we've seen, that's actually a great example, Reuben, because what we've seen is that we've actually seen an increase in rental properties being available
An
in
increase
Christchurch.
in rents, what we've seen.
Well, actually, we've seen a plateau of rent. So, contrary to what you say, we're actually delivering for people that have a cost of living crisis. So, thanks for highlighting that.
Landlords have a cost of living crisis? Not last time I checked.
If you'd listened, Reuben, I said that rents have stabilised. We've got more rent supply in Christchurch. So, I consider that a success.
Government is slashing funds, or has slashed funds rather, for the Wings to Wheels Cycleway. Hamish, was this a step in the right direction, or do you think this is something that community wants? Because arguably you've got the local community who overwhelmingly don't support this, but some would argue, but the wider community, cyclists do. So what do we do about this? Because we've already spent millions of dollars probably on designs and plans, and yet we've come to a nothing kind of situation now. What do you say, Hamish?
Yeah, look, I've contacted a lot of people in the Herwood area, and I have yet to find someone who is supportive of the cycleway. I'm sure there probably is. I think we probably need some traffic lights down Herwood Road. I think that's a very important step, and that's really what kicked off this whole thing. The council's then run with it. They've done huge. They've come up with an over-engineered solution, which I think they're trying to. They're now looking for a problem to solve, but they've come up with a solution and now looking for a problem to solve.
Reuben, is that a fair comment? It's a problem that didn't really exist in the first place, and we've spent millions of dollars already, or is this something we need?
Look, all I would say is please bring your cycleways over to Christchurch East, because we would love some great connectivity along the estuary edge. We'd love some great connectivity through the red zone so that people can ride to work or study in the city. I mean, the number of conversations I've had with residents in across the Christchurch East electorate who would really appreciate having greater access ways and alternative modes of transport to get them from some of the best suburbs in the city into the university campuses, the other campuses, or the city where they work. So I think we need to look at what we can do to make moving around the happiest city in New Zealand easier for everyone.
I'll tell you what I'd love to do at some stage if I could be bothered, buy an e-bike and go for a bike through the red zone areas of Christchurch, because that looks kind of fun. But I haven't bought an e-bike and I probably won't.
Oh, look, it's an invitation from me.
Normal bike.
Anytime you like, Chris.
Have you got a bike?
I'll
Have you,
take
Reuben?
you for an e-bike tour of the red zone.
Have you got an e-bike?
I'll arrange one for you.
Okay.
It won't be a tandem, but I'll take you for a bike ride through
We
the
could do
red zone.
tandem. That'd be quite fun. I could sit in the basket like the Muppets from the Great Muppet Cape. Yeah, that was a weird segue, wasn't it? But anyway,
Yeah, strange
thing,
picture.
yeah. By the way, if you guys wondering why I'm looking down, I'm just monitoring the levels because there's a little bit of feedback coming through. Something that I reported on earlier this week, and it was really sad to see again that yet another greyhound dog died. Arguably what the owners would say, doing what they love. But there's a call again from animal rights activists saying it is time to ban greyhound racing. It looks like it was kind of on the government's radar, that is in the last administration's radar last year. This is always a hot button issue when I post this on my Facebook page. People will say, oh, we love our greyhounds, but I think, well, until they become surplus to money, I guess. Reuben, what do you say?
Look, I think we've had 3 reviews in the last decade. I think it's fair to say that the time is up for this industry. It's time to see government step in and put in a ban on greyhound racing.
Hamish.
Look, first of all, I just want to say it is upsetting when you see animals die in situations like this. Look, it's not an industry that I actually know too much about. I've actually never been to the dog races myself, and I do believe the Minister of Racing is weighing up the options, and I think kind of we do need a bit of certainty around what's going to happen with greyhound racing, and I appreciate there's probably been a number of businesses that have pulled away their sponsorship from dog racing, but as I say, it's not an industry that I know that much about.
You know what's interesting though is when I often go to the dog park with my dog and I see the occasional greyhound, and not that I'm defending the industry, but they do absolutely love running crazily fast. It's quite a lovely sight to see. But then again, should we be making money off something like that is another question. Guys, before we leave, I know you're always both in the community doing things out and about. I always see it on your Facebook pages, so no doubt it's a long weekend, isn't it? So Reuben, I want to start with you. Anything interesting happening? Mind you, the weather's going to be pretty crappy tomorrow, isn't it?
Look, we're an all-weather team in Christchurch East. So when people say,
you got your wee pavilion thing, yes.
When people ask me what do we do if it rains, I say we might get a bit wet. But the hopefully, dependent on flights, hopefully we'll be back in Christchurch this afternoon for street corner meetings. So I've got 2 of those booked in, and I'm really hoping I can get to them. Saturday, we've got a full day. There is the New Brighton Community Garden are having their annual plant sale, and they have said, rain, hail or shine, that plant sale will go ahead. So that is one of the most amazing plant sales you will get to. And we all know that being Labour weekend, this is the weekend that is the safe point after which you can plant tomatoes outdoors. So buy those at the New Brighton Community Garden. And then on Sunday, I've got Walk the Talk happening at the Richmond Community Garden and through the Red Zone, not on e-bikes, but it is a great opportunity to take a wander through that environment and hear from local experts about exactly what's going on. So that's 10:30 till 12, free barbecue afterwards, this Sunday. And Monday, Labour Day, the best day of the year. It's in the name.
Possibly. Hamish, what about yourself?
Hopefully I can get down to Christchurch soon, since the weather disruptions have disrupted flights. But I just will acknowledge the organisers of the Diwali festival. They actually, unfortunately, have had to postpone it. I think it's a really great choice, but I appreciate all the effort that they've put in to organise such an event. It's great for not just the Indian community, but for all of Christchurch. So big shout out to them. Tomorrow morning at Hagley Park, 8 a.m, this park run. Park run is a free 5K run. It doesn't have to be run, it can be a walk. Often 400 people turn up to Hagley Park Run. It's part of an international movement. And New Zealand is the fastest park run growing country in the world at the moment. So that's great to see people getting out, being active. Of course, we've got the Christchurch Farmers Market in Riccarton Bush, also another great event. You can go to Park Run, come home via the Christchurch Farmers Market for a coffee, croissant. Great stalls there. So great community weekend ahead.
A free run. Maybe if you pay me, I'll consider it. I remember the days of running around Heckley Park, and those days are long gone. Gentlemen, it's nice to speak with you both. I hope you get your free flight, but I suppose it is in some respects, your flights back to Christchurch, and have a lovely weekend. It's nice to speak with you both.
Thanks,
Excellent.
Chris.
Great to see you.
See you at the airport.